Join us this week on the DevOps Lab, where myself and Vinicius will walk you through how we're going to create Azure DevOps Management reports. Hey everyone, and welcome to the DevOps Lab. With us this week, we have a very special guest, Vinicius Moura. Vinicius, we haven't seen each other since São Paulo, Brazil in 2019, right?
Yes, nice to meet you. Have a big pleasure talking with you and April. And I hear Vinicius is a Microsoft MVP, and today we talk about Azure DevOps Management Reports. The tool is developed for Azure DevOps administrators.
Cool. And I think this is an important topic, Vinicius, because we work with so many customers that need to get reporting out. They need to pass that along to their teams, their leadership teams, or any kind of stakeholders within projects. So this is a really cool topic. You've worked really hard on this. You've written blogs on it. You've written a lot of content. So go ahead and tell us how you've created these management reports.
Yeah, basically Azure DevOps Management Reports is a tool for Azure DevOps administrators and focus on DevOps process management for larger scales technical decisions. Example, we often come across companies have many repositories, teams, pipelines, and you need to understand if all processes are following the same flow, same branch policies, and you need to solve management problems in DevOps, applying technical decisions across my process. This is a fundamental skills and fundamental means of my tool.
Awesome. And I think what's really important is that feedback mechanism into the DevOps process. We've done all these amazing things. How do we get that feedback in to improve those processes and make it better for the next time? So I think you have a GitHub repo you're going to share with us today.
Yeah. Here it's my GitHub repository. Of course, it's open source, and you need to explore different features here. This content. First reports were solved to each challenges and vision that I have about the project. Example, I need to list all branch policies to all repositories in all projects in my Azure DevOps organizations. Example, I have customers that contains 5,000 repositories. It's normal in Brazil on large enterprise organizations. And if I can modify one branch policies, I get each repository, I get each project and selected the respective branch policies, and of course, apply code review. But I don't have the view of all policies, all repositories, all branches, etc. This is my problem. Large scale, large organizations, I don't have this view on Azure DevOps today.
And that's very true. Yeah. We get a very limited view on that. We get maybe an at the time view, but we don't get a reporting out of that.
Yeah, perfect. And here I will show my first example. Here, this is my complete solution. And this report get different views on Azure DevOps. First, I will explain how can I extract this information. I create a SQL database that contains all tables on Azure DevOps. I use REST API from Azure DevOps and the Azure DevOps CLI. I process all data in PowerShell, connect to SQL database, and expose and show information on Power BI. I connect SQL on Power BI. This is my complete solution, okay? And the first example here, I will show branch policies. Yeah. Example here on on my organization, at this moment, I have 185 repositories. And here I list all team projects. I list all the full brands on different repositories. And of course, here I show all repositories on this report. Example here, if I get the policy brand require a minimum number of reviews, only 30 repositories have this brand policy on.
See, I've had to manually do this in the past to look at my repositories, look at my look at what my branching policies are, how many reviewers are, and audit this manually. This is awesome.
Yes, because if I apply on my company a code review, I will use on Azure DevOps branch policies feature. Mm-hmm. But if I don't have any policies, I can commit, example, my code directly on main branch. It's on my process. It's a big problem. It's a big issue.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so much risk that goes into that. And we talk to organizations about mitigating that risk. Being able to audit this and get this information out is really great, because so often we have either small projects or lone projects or maybe a small development team do something, and they don't always put in the policies inherently because it's not automated or what have you. Or maybe it's just not their thing. Like, we're sometimes in a rush to set up a project and get going, and we forget about all the other guardrails we sometimes need in place. So this is awesome. This is really good report to give that visibility across to the teams.
Yes, example here. This is my main policy, in my opinion. I will enable the review on pull request, and of course I need to get build validation. I need to run a continuous integration to verify if this pull request is valid or not. On my example here, only 9 repositories has a respective build validation. To me, is a big problem. My pull request, if I don't run continuous integration, I will get a new error on my code, on my main branch example.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I really like this. This is a great way to review the processes you have in place, how to audit that and give that back to the organization and keep on top of it.
Yeah. Let's go to the second example.
Sure.
Yeah, my second example is focused on process templates customizations and team board settings. Example. Here, I map all process templates name. On my organization, I believe that I have 20 different process templates customizations here, okay? And I need to compare 2 different process templates, example. But I know that I am creating, when you customize a process template on Azure DevOps, when you create a new field on one respective work-item type, this field is the name is custom, normal, custom, blocked, etc. If I created a block field on any work item or any customization process template, I don't know. I need to verify all customizations, all templates, all work items. It's very difficult manually. But on this report example, I created this field, custom critical. I click on a respective field, and the report show me. I create this field on user history work item type, on Azure na prática process template, and I apply this field on this respective project. And here I have a legend to to exemplify my customization, data type, field name, work intent type, and I show any customizations on different process templates on my Azure DevOps.
Awesome. Now you've created all this and you've shared it out into an open source GitHub repo, and you've written a blog on it. So for everyone getting started, we're going to share the blog, the link to the blog in the show description, right? And then we're also going to share the GitHub repo so people can get started. So how do people get started? They're going to go to your GitHub repo. And what's in your GitHub repo that's going to help people get started with this?
Perfect. Here I exemplify report by report on my GitHub and redirect a respective blog. But after 2 years, I believe that my GitHub repository has 2 years. After that, I think about, I create different views, but I will create one view, one instruction, and I click on button, execute a PowerShell, and I will create my solution. This explanation is content on our reports folder. And here I show my complete solution. Connect REST API, process data on my PowerShell, storing my data on SQL Azure, and show my data on Power BI. And here I have how can you implement this solution step by step. Create database, run script to create a entity relationship, run PowerShell, and this PowerShell will consume all REST APIs to populate these tables. And of course, after that, you connect Power BI. Important, you need a personal access token here to connect Azure DevOps. And the instruction generates an automatic log to exemplify how many information, how many data do you insert on different tables here. I create a log for execution by execution. Okay, and here I connect Power BI. The Power BI is included on the solution. Of course, you need, of course, connect your respective database, change the data source on Power BI. It's normal on different Power BI's execution. You need to connect your data source here. Okay.
Awesome. This is, I think, a great repository for people to get started, start reproducing this, getting their reporting out. Vinicius, amazing work. I'm excited for this video to get released and for us to get this out and share this with the world. So thank you so much for coming on the DevOps Lab today. And for everyone out there watching, you can again reference all this content in the show notes in the description. So please tune in next time for the next episode of the DevOps Lab.